All right, now, good foodies, thank you all for tuning in once again. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and be a part of our community. On today, we're doing something that is very loved and cherished in my family. They love meatloaf. So we're going to go ahead and get that posted. But for real quick, our ingredients, we are using a 5-pound roll of ground beef. We're going to be using adobo seasoning, breadcrumbs. We have Hunt's seasoned tomato sauce, minced garlic, our ketchup, Prego, our Saison complete seasoning. We have 3 eggs, our pepper, onion. We have 2 meatloaf packets and 1 sloppy joe. Now I know y'all looking at these ingredients and saying, honey, we don't know if you're doing sloppy joe, spaghetti, meatloaf. What are you doing? So let me tell you how the sloppy joe came about. Well, I went to Walmart, I went to another store, and it seemed like the stores are running out of meatloaf seasoning. I don't know. I don't know if it's meatloaf day. I don't know if people are having a meatloaf party. Either way, I said I needed something else to season this, so I grabbed sloppy joe. This is how great recipes, guys, are made. When something is missing, you got to learn how to improvise. So I've never used sloppy joe with the meatloaf seasoning, honey, but we're using it today, okay? So sit back, watch, stay tuned. We're going to get all of our veggies cut up and everything in our pan, so we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we are back, and we are ready to prepare our meatloaf. Y'all, meatloaf is such an easy meat to prepare, an easy entree. First, I guess we'll start out with our seasonings, and I have 2 meatloaf and 1 sloppy joe. Like I said in the beginning, the store had ran out, and so therefore we had to improvise. And being that sloppy joe is tomato based, I think it's just gonna work out fine. Honey, like what is my saying, y'all? Girl, it's your kitchen. Do what you want. So we doing what we want up in here. Everybody's different. And this is 5 pounds of meatloaf. I'm sorry. This is 5 pounds of ground beef. So if you're using like 2.5, 3, just use do half of what I'm doing on today. We're also going to add, this is our Hunt seasoned tomato sauce. Going to add that in there. Next, we have our minced garlic, and I'm going to do about 2 good tablespoons. And I also want to show you this, guys. This is my onion and green pepper. I don't like the big chunks of onion and green pepper in my meatloaf. When I cut my meatloaf, I like it to look a certain way. And I don't like those big chunks, so I use a food processor. And I cut up the onions and the green pepper real small. And another reason why I do this is because a lot of times kids don't like to eat vegetables. And if they see it, they're not going to eat it. So you have to trick them into thinking that, you know, there's no vegetables in here by just not letting them see it. Because a lot of times kids like it. It's the look of it that they don't like. Next, we'll add our 3 eggs. And I like to mix those up a little bit, break that yolk. We're also going to add just a little bit, not a lot, because, and guys, I would say that was about a teaspoon, not even a tablespoon. And that's just to help enhance the flavor. And that's all-purpose adobo seasoning. Then I have my Saison Complete, which is basically different herbs and spices. And last but not least, I have 2 cups of breadcrumbs. And remember, I have 2 cups because this is 5 pounds of ground beef. I'm also going to add, now this is actually, this and the ketchup is actually for the toppings that I'm going to use at the end. But I do like to add a little bit of tomato sauce. And that's roasted garlic and herb in my meatloaf. So now, it's time to play in your meatloaf. You just want to get everything mixed up and incorporated. You don't want to over mix your meatloaf because you don't want no tough meat. All right, guys, I do want to add a little bit of ketchup in this. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons. They don't see it. Show them the ketchup. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of our ketchup. I got my extra. Really, Jonathan. I got my extra set of hands. Go all around it. Okay, that's enough. That. Whew. Jonathan, yeah, they see. All right. You can go back now. All right, guys. So let's get this mixed in. And we're going to shape it. All right, you guys. So we have our meatloaf shaped and ready to go in the oven. We're going to cover this tightly with aluminum foil. We're going to put this in the oven on 350 for an hour. And I'll say an hour and a half. Because this is 5 pounds and we have 2 of them in here together. So I'm gonna say an hour and a half. I will let you know the exact time for this when I pull it out. Because when I do pull it out, we're going to be mixing our Prego and our ketchup to use for a topping on top of our meatloaf. Then we'll put it back in the oven for another 15, maybe 20 minutes. So we'll be back between an hour and 30 minutes to let you know how far we cooked our meatloaf. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, I wanted to bring you all back real quick to show you what I do as far as the top of my meatloaf. Sometimes I make brown gravy, and then the other times I use this. And what I do, I'll take my spaghetti sauce and I'll pour it into a measuring cup. And I'm not pouring, guys, to measure. It's just easier to mix in this cup. All right, and then what I'll do from there is add my ketchup. And I would have to say about 1/4 of a cup of ketchup. And then to eliminate the acidity that these jars and cans be having with the tomatoes, we add a little bit of sugar. And that's about a tablespoon. And we just gonna mix it. And that's it. When our meatloaf comes out, we'll spread this over the top and stick it back in the oven for about 15-20 minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so we are back with our meatloaf. We uncovered it, and this is what we have. It's been in the oven an hour and a half. So what we're going to do now, we're going to drain this grease because this was the 7327 meat, ground beef, and so it produced a lot of grease. And so we're going to remove our meatloaf, either drain it or remove our meatloaf from the grease. And then we're going to apply our sauce and put it back in the oven for about 15-20 minutes. So just hold on one second. All right, guys, we are back, and as you see, we were able to drain most of our ground beef. Not going to worry about that little bit in the bottom. And so what we want to do now is cover it with our sauce. So, all right, guys, so we're going to put this back in the oven uncovered. We'll be back in about 15-20 minutes with the finished product. All right, you guys, so we have done it. Our meatloaf is complete. I hope you try this recipe. Like I said, we did put a packet of the Sloppy Joe mix into this meatloaf. I would try it on camera right now, but it is piping hot. So I'm going to wait till I get off camera. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe, the like button for this video. Share this video for your friends. You all be safe this weekend. Be blessed. I am going to cut this up and plate this real nice so you can see what the inside look like at the end of the video. So you all, once again, you all be blessed. Have a great weekend.